Hello, lovelies. It's G here from Golden Thread Tarot. I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I want to move this down a little bit. There we go. I'm here to bring you another channeled message. I hope this message finds you blessed and full of abundance as always, my sweets. Okay. So I'm not looking at best because I was not planning on making a public reading. I was pulling some cards for myself and for my own information, and suddenly a collective reading came about. So I was guided to stop and make this a collective reading. So, excuse me, but listen to the message, okay? There is some kind of third-party situation coming on here. I want to say that, okay? So, there is a situation here where a separation was caused here, okay? Okay, let me start. Where did I start? Okay, yes. So a truth is going to come out. So first we have out here, we already have some cards out here. Like I said, I was pulling. So we have the Hierophant, we have the Sun, and we have the Ace of Swords, right? Yeah, the Ace of Swords. A truth is going to come out here, okay? A truth is coming out here about a lover situation, all right? About how because I had this dream about how there was, I'm not going to get into details of the dream, but it's like the gist of it was I was in the room with a bunch of people, with a group of people, and I didn't feel like I really belonged there. I felt like, okay, hold on. Sorry about that. Yeah, there's this kind of like, you don't belong, you need to get out of here, we don't trust you, this kind of vibe here, okay? But there was like a mutual, like, there was this kind of vibe that like, I didn't fit in. I was a different class. I wasn't like alike these people, right? And these people have this very big like air of like, I'm above you. I'm better than you. You don't fit in here. That energy is a third party energy here that is in between two people here. Now, somebody here could have gotten some bad advice from a group of friends or something, and it could have caused some kind of separation to have here, or it could be the reason that you and another person are separated. This doesn't have to be specifically about love, but that's so funny because yeah, but there's definitely, because the Thief card came out here. And with these two cards, see how there's three people, and in all three of the scenarios, there's two people with connections to each other, with a person standing in between, right? With this person in between these people. Oh yeah, here, adjudication also come out. Again, two people with a third person in between here. So there definitely is some kind of third party that's playing a role. And it's like this feeling that you don't belong, or that you don't need to be here. I definitely feel like let it resonate as it does for you, but a truth is going to come to light here, okay? A truth is going to come to light here, and it's going to empower you, or empower someone to make a decision to close one door and open a different one. Now, we could be talking about a decision that could be coming up because when I cut, originally I cut the Kipper deck, it was Thief and, oh my gosh, I just lost it. I had it. What was it? I know Thief came out. Anyway, but there's an option here of closing a door and allowing another to open. Wow, I can't believe that just like right out of my head. Anyway, and there's confusion here. That's how I'm feeling. I'm like, it was so clear, and then suddenly now it feels like very like foggy. Yeah, I was talking about that too. How there's fogginess, there's confusion here. It's like illusions. Again, here, right? There's this smoke in the background of illusions, and it stopped someone. Come on, and it stopped someone from delivering a message of love or bringing forward a message of love. There's also here the family room card here, right? Which is about secrets, keeping secrets inside. The Lovers card was also here. And the Marriage card came out here right over the Lovers. So there was an opportunity for two people to come together in some type of way, to collaborate or to come together in love, to go towards something, okay? But a thief, someone stepped in between here. Again, it could be a family member, okay? Secrets were kept here. Someone stepped in between and wanted to keep that from happening. And I think to either you or to this person, hello, sweet baby. No, I can't hold you right now. Distractions, maybe even a baby. Maybe a baby happened, okay? I'm sorry. Gotta get down. Okay? And, that is here. There's a child here in between these people. And also, here, this lady is pregnant right here. But there's a truth here that's going to come out that's going to cause some kind of... It's either going to... Yeah, because I feel... Okay, let me gather myself. There's so much information here, okay? It's just like layering on top of each other. And I can't even get one thing out before another like reveals itself. And that could be it, right? There is this vibe of distractions. There is this vibe of like, yeah, like I see one person standing there and they're looking out into the future, or they're looking out into the distance, which gives me this look of the future. Like, oh, I want to go in this direction with that other person. To that other person. But then there's all these distractions, there's all this stuff, there's all these opinions, there's all these things in between them that involve other people, things happening, that are standing in the way between these two people coming together. Again, here, 5 of Swords, I was talking about that, right? How there's the smoke, the fog, there's all this distractions, there's all this comparison, there's all these issues. Again, 3 people with smoke in between separating people, right? Causing drama, causing issues. I'm being really like called into this cat that's like looking to us, right? Looking at us, the observer, which calls your eye to it. Eye contact calls your eyes to it. And this little cat has their paw on the spell book here, right? 7 to 8 down on the clock. And it is causing, and look at these other 2 cats. It's making the other one cat is like turned away, looking away from the situation. The other cat is like with their head down, kind of like almost crying. And there's this kind of confusion and fear. This other person is kind of like, why would you do that? This one person is so triumphant. There is a thief here that felt or feels, no, felt, because things are changing, felt so triumphant. Like, yeah, somebody here literally could have cast a spell. They could have cast a spell with their words, with their attitude, that stopped and held somebody back from going. Like somebody here had a plan. They had a plan to move forward. And something somebody said or something somebody did stopped this from happening, stopped this person from coming forward, or some kind of event or something that was said. But there is something here about somebody saying something and placing themselves in between here, and almost severing this tie between these 2 people. But I think it's significant that the tie is not all the way severed. The door isn't all the way closed. And with that, I am getting this tie of like, no matter how much somebody tried to step in between here, there's still this draw, there's still this connection between these 2 people. God, this God, this higher power, this higher force is still here in between these 2 people as well. There is also this kind of vibe that like perhaps with this adjudication card, perhaps maybe God had to step in and say, one of these people, they ain't ready. One person, okay, because I'm paying attention here to like what's above their head. On one side, on top of the masculine's head is the gavel. And on top of the feminine's head is the stack of books. So there's more information. There's a feminine energy here that needs to know more, that needs to find out more information. And with this gavel here, it's like, I'm just thinking about how like you bang the gavel, like bang, 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 like order or like stop or like I've declared this, right? Some kind of declarative statement. I'm doing this. That's what I'm doing. I'm putting out this order. I'm stepping up and I'm taking control of a situation. And I'm saying, this is happening. And when I woke up from that dream, I was hearing the song Vultures by John Mayer. And it's been so, I forgot that song even existed, dog. But I was hearing that, I just kept hearing that, the different parts of it where it was like that, whiz up, we've got to keep on moving, right? So it's like, which is like an airplane taking up, right? Like take up the wheels up, we've got to fly off, we've got to get out of here. So there is this kind of like, I'm exiting, I'm leaving, right? Yeah. And I kept hearing the different part of it where it was like, who are they? What do they want from me? All these vultures standing right outside my door. I kept hearing that part too. And then the part where it was like, down to the wire, we walk through the fire, right? Again, some of us, we're hardly ever here. The rest of us, we're born to disappear. How do I stop myself being just a number? How will I hold my head to keep from going under? Down to the wire. I wanted water, but I'll walk through the fire. If this is what it takes to take me even higher, then I'll come through like I do when the world keeps testing me, testing me, testing me. Yes. So there is this kind of test of a karmic contract here between these two people, right? Spirit is saying, it's coming down to the wire. Walk through the fire. Like I wanted water, right? I wanted all these emotions to be unlocked, but instead I'm having to walk through fire. I'm walking through some kind of test here. There is some kind of like soul contracted, you need to do this, and this person needs to do that, and then this connection can actually like be severed. This connection to the past, this connection to darkness, a different type of connection. That's what this third party really is, right? Because people, this whole like rhetoric, of like, oh, there's a karmic standing in between you and your person. And usually, yes, God can use certain people and things and experiences, but they're all a reflection of things within us that we need to address, that need to be healed, right? Karmics come into our life to teach us a lesson about ourselves, about what's happening inside, about wounding, or about, limiting thought, or belief processes that we have inside of ourselves, right? They're marrying that back to us, right? And so, yes, there could be an actual person that's a karmic, but underneath all of that, what it is energy, right? An energy, a truth that God, or that spirit, God, source, internet, okay, that a higher collective consciousness is trying to show us about ourselves, right? A truth about ourselves. There's information that you don't know, or there's information that you need to gather. There is a knowing, right? So yeah, the feminine energy has a knowing that they need to acknowledge, or that there's information that they need to gather. I need to know more. I need to know this. And the masculine energy here is more like, I need to make a declarative statement. Like I need to come to the understanding that I need to speak on it, that I need to act on it, that I need to declare something, and walk in that, walk through that fire, right? There's that kind of energy. How did they find me here? What do they want from me? All of these vultures hiding right outside of my door. I hear them whispering. They're trying to write it out. They've never gone this long without a kill before. Yeah, there's this kind of like whispering manipulation kind of energy, like outside of these two people or outside of these two energies, as they're trying to come together or as they're trying to fulfill some kind of soul contract that they have between each other. Again, down to the wire. I wanted water, but I walked through the fire. And here's this Will's up. I got to leave this evening. Oh, see, I just making up lyrics. But, Will's up. I got to leave this evening. Can't seem to shake these vultures off of my trail. Power made by power being taken. So I keep on running to protect my situation. And with that feels like much more psychological. Like I'm like that runner kind of energy. I'm running away from what's actually taking my power. I'm running away from what actually is causing the issue. And that's funny too, because as I sat down, that song, We Don't Talk About Bruno, came in my mind because I sat down and I think I said like, but, and then that song just bubbled up. But it was our wedding day, and there wasn't a cloud in the sky. No clouds allowed in the sky. Like, I have to laugh at myself, but like, and in that situation, right? They're like, Bruno came forward with this information and ruined our wedding, but it was really about their own internal feelings, right? Bruno, and that's what the whole We Don't Talk About Bruno was. The whole thing about Bruno was like, Bruno just, it's like, oh, he made my fish die. No, your fish was already gonna die, right? He just told you that it was gonna happen. So there's this it's like, oh, he said all my hair would fall out, and then it actually did. There's this kind of projection energy, like I'm blaming this person, but it's really a fated event, or it's really something that's meant to happen. No, baby, I'm sorry. No. So it's this kind of thing that's meant to happen. Like I'm blaming all this other stuff. I'm blaming all these other things. What in the world was that? Okay, that was really significant. So one of my other cats, she was literally just walking across the floor, and she was just walking, and then she just bunny hop jumped. Like she was jumping over something that wasn't there. There was nothing there. There's nothing in the floor. There's nothing there. And then she just kept walking like normal. And I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you hopping over? The energy. Yeah. So again, significant, right? My animal. And what are you pushing? What are you pushing out of this? The thief. So my cat is sitting here and he's like pushing a card like underneath my device, and it's the thief card. Yeah, I think God is stepping in here to push. So there's something here that happened, and somebody is viewing it as like, oh my God, this is what's stopping me. All of this is happening. All these distractions are popping up. All these people popping up. All of this healing that I need to do. It's popping up and it's stopping me from doing or from being who I really want to be or from going to where I really want to go. But the truth of the matter is that it's really removing. Again, like I was just saying, right? Like we talk about how we vilify karmics and about how they stand in the way and they're the issue, they're the problem, but they're really just a reflection of our own internal issues and our own internal problems. Even if it's just I stay in a situation or I stay in a dynamic that doesn't, like what inside of me makes me feel like I am not worth something more. What makes me feel, so it feels like all these things that are like, it's like, oh, all this is getting in my way. It's hanging me up. This is the issue. This is the problem. But really what's happening is that you are walking through a soul contract of, I need to deal with these internal things. I need to deal with the choices of my past, with the consequences, with all of these things. And that's what is keeping me separated from where I really want to go. That is what's keeping me separated. It's not really this person. It's not really these events. It's not really, with this whole like baby situation, You know, it could be that somebody here is like, oh my God, you know, I was trying to leave and go towards somebody, but then turns out that somebody that I was messing around with had a baby, or, you know, I was thinking about leaving this person, but then they popped up pregnant, or, you know, or I have been married to this person, but I ended up wanting to leave them or wanting to move on, you know, but the kids, you know, I don't want to leave the kids. I don't want to separate and break up my family that I created. It's that it could be there. It could be some kind of vibe there with that. That just sounds like, at least for someone, it could be significant. But what really is happening here is that God is pushing out something that is stealing your joy and your happiness truly from you. Right? If you truly want to sever this cord, if you want to bring this together, if you want this new doorway, this new possibility to open, you have to sever, you know, you have to walk through and learn your karmic lessons. You have to settle your karmic debts. You have to get rid of these things inside of you, these psychologies, this wounding that is actually stealing the possibility of this union or of your higher self coming in, right? All of these bad habits, addictions, devil energy, shadow energy, face this within you. And when you face those things within yourself, all the distractions that pop up in the 3D, right? Because our 3D world mirrors what's happening inside of us, right? You don't like that? My sweet baby boy. What made him just like look right at the camera at the same time? It's reminding me of the card in the 5 of Swords, where the cat is looking directly at camera, right? It's looking directly at us, the observer, and this information coming out, right? That cat is also reminding me of the Guardian card in the, ooh, what's she doing? You flipping over? Flipping over. Come over, baby. Oh my goodness. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm. Yeah. There has to be trust here, right? Especially for a cat, right? I feel like some of you are just like, how are you rubbing your cat's belly and it's not trying to kill you? Well, no, I can't say that universally, because I do have, she just doesn't like to get picked up. My white cat, you guys probably see from time to time, she just doesn't like to get picked up in general, right? She doesn't like to get held and, you know, and held like a little baby, like my baby boy does, right? But like, I train on my cats from a very young age to allow me to pet them on their stomachs. And every cat that I've ever had likes me to pet them on their stomach. So, it's just about building this level of trust. And there is something here about building this level of trust here that needs to happen. There needs to be a cleansing of all of the shadow energy that causes these issues, so that there can be this level of trust built in here. Go to sleep, baby. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I'll keep rubbing you, baby. There has to be this level of trust built here, right? All of the darkness, all of this needs to go. But I definitely feel like there is information here that needs to come out, because if things need to come to a head, if things need to settle out, that needs to happen here. If we're going to go kind of, you know, from this 5 of Swords issues and blockages and competition and comparison and, and we want to transmute it down to something where there is a lot more rest and relaxation and kind of letting go, where there can be a balance here. And look how those 2 cats are like hissing and like kind of fighting with each other. There needs to be a balancing of this light and shadow side here, within each of these people so that justice can come out here. And what justice is like an opening, a softening here. You know, a realization of deeper emotions here. Baby boy, I'm gonna have to put you down. I gotta keep going. I gotta keep pulling messages. It's so hard. Look how cute he is. He also gives off very conflicting statements because he's like, yeah, look how chill and cool and calm he is. But he's always flicking his tail so hard. That's just what he does. Like, and it was like, he's very different from every other cat that I've ever had because, because most cats, when they flick their tail like that, it means that they're angry. And with him, he's just chilling. He's just chilling. He's not 100% happy because I'm not holding him like he really wants me to, but... Okay. Okay, babies. We gotta get down because mommy's doing something. Okay. I know. I know. Let go. Let go. Let go. Sorry, babies. Okay. Kitty breaks over. All right, let's get back into this. All right? All right. Okay. There has to be change here. Right? And it has to be a big major change. You see how much energy that came out with? I think change is definitely happening here, but if you're wondering why you're in separation with a person or why, you know, you're in general, like if you know a specific person or if you're just being like, why hasn't my person, why hasn't this come about? This is why, you know? Yeah, there's work to be put in here. There's information that needs to be given here. I'm really honestly feeling like a truth has to come out here about a friend group or about why somebody said something or did something too. I'm also getting that too. Yeah. Also, stop waiting. If you're the feminine here and you're waiting, stop waiting. Come on. If you're waiting on this mature man, stop waiting. Somebody here, because look, with the books on the feminine's head right there, and then here's the masculine surrounded, you know, with this library here. Somebody here could be waiting for some kind of information from a masculine here. But this masculine is not ready for this. They're not ready to say or to give you the information that you're looking for. What came out? Concern. That was it. That was what originally came out. Thank you, Spirit. Thief and message of concern originally came out. Where it's got the woman where she's like, oh. That's why I was like, oh, some kind of information, some kind of shocking information might come out here. Also, because I'm getting this, for feminine energy here, you might be approached by a masculine energy from your past who is convinced that you're waiting for them. I don't feel like you're interested in this person at all, but there is this vibe here of like, of this main feminine energy here. there is also this, it's layered, you guys. There is also this internal expectations. Like, I expect this person to look this way and act this way. Our partners are not going to be perfect, right? Just like how we're not perfect, just how we're, we have physical, emotional, psychological imperfections in ourselves, things that we struggle with, things that we have weaknesses. Our partners are going to have that as well, right? And there could be a feminine energy here that is dealing with accepting that your perfect person is not going to be a perfect person, right? They'll be right for you, good for you, exactly what you need. But that doesn't mean that on paper they're going to be the perfect person. Maybe perhaps they might have a sordid past. They might have their own flaws, their own individual quirks and their own individual things. People are still people, right? Right? And there is this kind of vibe here of allowing for people to have made mistakes, allowing for people to have, to still be healing, to still be dealing with things, to still, when your person comes in, they might not have, they might have a sordid past, or maybe perhaps they might come in and they might have a child from a previous marriage or from a previous relationship, or they might have, and there's this kind of idea here of just how, we've talked about this on the channel, just how the masculine needs to step up and has to understand that perhaps this feminine won't be like the people from their past, won't be who their family would choose for them, or who their friends might say, they're worthy of being, is worthy of being with them. And there will have to be this acceptance level that comes in the fact of the feminine energy. The same is also true for the feminine energy. Your masculine is not going to be perfect. They're going to have things that you're like, wish that was a little bit different. However, they show up for me. They make me feel safe. They make me feel protected. They're doing this right and this right and this right and this right and this right. But there is this, maybe their family's not perfect. Maybe they have like an overprotective mother, or maybe they have kids from a past marriage, or maybe, I'm not crazy about what they do for a living, or I'm not crazy about this. It's not ideal. It's not like a deal breaker. It's not ideal. And that could be the thing, right? There is a maturity level of acceptance coming in here. Like, you're not going to be perfect either, feminine. And this masculine, you're not a perfect person. You have flaws. You have things in your background. Perhaps you don't have the best relationship with your family. Perhaps you might have kids, from a previous marriage. Baby, stop, please. Let it resonate as it does for you. But it's like nobody here in this situation is going to be perfect. People are still going to have flaws. People are still going to have things that are kind of just like, and that could be, right? Just like, oh no. My perfect person, my twin flame, my person, my soulmate, they're not going to have a past, and they're not going to have, they're not going to be recovering from something. They're not, they're going to look like this, and they're going to be perfect, and they're going to be this, and they're going to be that. No, they're not. They're not, because that is an expectation that nobody can live up to. That's not realistic. Nobody can live up to being like this perfect image of a person you're putting up on a pedestal. That person is not going to exist. Because even if they perfectly align physically, we'll say, there's going to be things in their background, or there's going to be things in their psychology that they're still healing, or there's going to be things, that they have weaknesses and that you might not agree with, or maybe vice versa. Maybe, they're the perfect gentleman and they take care of you and they show up for you and they do all of this and they do all of that. But yet physically, they might be very different from what you're used to. They might be different from anybody you've ever chosen in the past. I wish she was a little taller, or I wish she was a little this or a little that, or a little trimmer, or, maybe I want a little bit more meat on my bones. There's going to be compromises and everything. No one's going to be the perfect package for you, right? But I do think it is going to be a situation where you're going to be like, they're not a perfect person, but they're just right for me. Honestly. But we fit together. The compatibility is there. The long-term stability is there. The love is there. The understanding, the seeing each other, the wanting to be with each other. All of that is there. It might not be the perfect scenario. It might not be the perfect my dream person that I dreamed about being with, but they're going to be the right person for you. And there is this kind of like, you have these kind of like dream or fantasy expectations that, yes, could have come to you from society, or could have come to you from advice from other people, or could have come from you, from a lot of different things. But it's just like, Spirit is bringing you this person, and it's saying like, hey, all these expectations of, no, he has to be this, and he has to make this much money, and he has to do this, and he has to look like this, and he has to have this, and he has to have that, is stopping your right person from coming in, because he doesn't have this one aspect or this one thing that you think, my person has to be like this, or they have to look like this, or they have to do this for a profession. They have to. That's not something I'm compromising on. There is something here. It's like, we have this perfect person here that if you would just allow them to come in, you would see how much they might not be what you thought you wanted, but they are exactly what you actually need. And if you'll just relax a little bit, right, we'll bring in exactly what you need right now in this moment. We will bring into you what you need, even though it might not fit the perfect expectation of what you're asking for. You can't always get what you want, but if you try sometimes, you might find you get what you need, right? Like, Spirit showing up for you, it's like, I'm gonna give you what you need. It might not be exactly what you thought. Come on now. And out comes that expectation card. I'm putting myself up on a shelf because I have, he needs to have this, and he needs to be 6'10", and he needs to have broad shoulders, and he needs to have this, and he needs to have that, and he needs to look like this, and he needs to be making 8 figures, and he needs to be, like, what? And he needs to have no kids and never be married before, and he needs to have no issues, no problems. He can't have an issue with this, he can't have an issue with that, and he can't be this, and he has to be that, and nobody's gonna be that perfect. People are going to have things that are kind of just like, because you do, right? You do. And you want that person to accept those flaws or those insecurities within you. You want somebody to love you, to see you for who you truly are, and to accept you, even with, your flaws, even with your, your weaknesses, even with your past mistakes, even with, your things that you see as falsities, or things that you're growing through or you're learning. It's like, no, I don't have my finances completely in order, but like, that doesn't mean I'm not worthy of love. No, I'm not the perfect shape or the perfect size, but that doesn't mean I'm not worthy of being loved and accepted. No, I might, yes, I might have done this or made this mistake or done that or been through that, but like, I want somebody to love me even though I've been through all those things. I deserve that. Your person does too. Your person does too. And in the same way that you want to be seen and you want to be recognized and you want to be loved even with your flaws, right? This other person does too. This other person does too. They need to be loved too. They need to be accepted too. They need you to look at them and be like, but this and this and that, but fuck it, I really love this person, And I'm not saying, and again, don't go wild and run wild with it and be like, oh, but they're married. Oh, but they're emotionally unavailable, but they're running away from me. But they, but they say hurtful things to me. But everything else about them, you know what I'm talking about. Don't play me. You know what I'm talking about. And I think that is a thing here where it's like, oh, I thought my person would look like this or act like this or do this, or they're not going to be perfect. They're still going to have issues that they're dealing with. They're still going to have problems that they're trying to grow out of. We're all always a work in progress. Main feminine, the coffin card. There's this kind of death. There's this kind of ending of something here. Can you give me more explanation to the main? Great fortune. Can you clarify this main female card here, please? Thank you, Spirit. Two of Wands. This person might not fit perfectly into your plans or into the expectations that you're setting out there. They might not be your absolutely perfect right now. They might not, everybody's still growing. Everybody's still growing. Everybody makes mistakes, There is this like expectation of your person to be like this perfect person. And this person feels weighed down by your expectations of them being perfect and having, you're never going to hurt me and you're never going to say this. And I'm so triggered by this and that. You better never say it. And you better never think that. And you better never fight with me or have a cross word with me or have a bad day. You better, and it's kind of just like, look, like nobody can live up to those expectations. Nobody can live up to they're going to be perfect all the time. They're always going to say the perfect thing. They're always going to make the perfect choices. Nobody's going to do that. No, they might be quite charming, but they might say something or they might do something or they might have friends that you're not that fond of, like they might have a family that is not, is not that fond of you or that I don't feel that as much, but like, I feel like more with friends. Like, there is a particular masculine energy here who has friends around them that are like, your person needs to fit in like this. Like that dream that I was talking about that I went back to where it's like, there's like this group of people being like, you don't measure up. But this person is amongst this group of people and they're kind of starting to be like, yeah, Four of Wands. Exactly, look. There is this expectation here of you need to look like this, you need to do this, you need to be making this much money, or you need to be doing that. Yeah, I'm hearing somebody say, I don't care. There could be a masculine energy here that's learning that a friend group that they as they evolve, that they're just like, I really don't fit into this friend group. There can be this very like, oh, that person doesn't fit in with us. That person doesn't fit in with us. Then I don't fit in with you. Then this is the person that I'm choosing. If you want to accept my person because this is the person that I love because of aesthetics or because of whatever arbitrary fact, like this person doesn't do this or they don't have that or they didn't come from this, or they don't look like that, that I don't fit in with you. Maybe I don't want to fit in with a group of people that won't accept that or want. There is something here about that too. Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, this person is observing, the fruits that are growing. What do these people mentality and how they feel about the world and how they look at the world, what does that say about them and about their character? What does it say about this person that they felt so much like they needed to surround themselves with people who had those kind of judgmental expectations of the world and other people? And they're just kind of like, damn. This person could be going through the realization where it was just kind of like, yeah, it's that switch, right? We've talked about this on the channel before, where we switch from being like noticing those things in other people, and then going through that switch to that next phase of understanding, of your next phase of spiritual development, of understanding like, oh, you are a reflection of some kind of negative thought process within myself. I hung out with you because I felt the same way. And this is less about me trying to change you, and this is more about me realizing I'm changing. Right? And it's brought this message of concern up here to this masculine energy, like, I'm changing. I'm different. And what does that mean? That's been concerning for this person. Baby, please stop, my love. Yeah. It's been a mental trap for this person. And it's been a hurdle for this person to kind of, to kind of like reflect it back on themselves. Yeah, I just heard this person say, it took me a minute, but I got there. It took me a minute, but I got there. Hey, don't do that. Yeah. It took this person a little bit of time to make this decision to really work on that, to really work on themselves, to really figure out, like how she's like putting all these different ingredients together to like mix up this potion or to mix up this thing, right? And this person is like, what parts of me and like what parts of my experiences, what parts of my past, what parts of me do I want to hold on to and what parts need to go? What parts serve me and what parts don't? And this person is kind of mixing up this brew of the person that they truly want to be. And again, like with that gavel coming down on that masculine, that's this Chariot energy here. This, I need to make a decision. Which way am I going? What path am I taking? Who do I really want to be? And that's going to inform what path I walk down. This person is the World card, letting go of certain choices and certain things from their past, certain cycles from their past, to bring about a much more balanced version of themselves. And again, that's what we've been talking about on this whole reading. Yeah. 10 of Wands. Those things that hold us down from being our true and authentic self, who we truly want to be, who we truly are. That shadow version of ourselves, right? Because I'm thinking here about the hissing black cat here on the Judgment card, right? And here again is that same hissing black cat. Is this person in the cape, which usually we talk about here on the channel. This is like the devil, right? It's the devil running away. The devil has put these 10 swords in your back and is causing this situation, this shadow version of yourself, right? Is causing this kind of pinning down energy, this betrayal, this betraying your true self and who you truly want to be. How balanced, how, look, this person is perfectly balanced, and look, it's the black cat jumping on the side that's going to unbalance it. Having that weight on that end of that cat jumping on that is going to tip the scales of balance here. Again, this cat right here with their hands on the pinnacle back there reminds me of the 4 of Pentacles, right? That there's something here blocked. There's something here that this person is holding on to inside of themselves, right? That shadow energy inside of themselves, which is what's actually stopping them from being able to be free and be able to be who they really want to be. King of Cups. To unlocking their emotions. Again, there is this vibe here. It's like, oh, this person wouldn't fit in, or this person wouldn't meet the expectations of a friend group or of this. And I need to understand that I am actually the one evolving beyond the thought process of what my parents or what my friends or what my society or what all of these other things have taught me. I'm holding all of this information deep inside of me, and it's subconsciously controlling me, informing me of my decisions. But is that really the place that I want to make decisions like this? Lifelong decisions from? Is this really the place that I want to make choices from? Not really. I have to cut this cord from the things that no longer serve me from my past. Come on, excuse me, guys. Hermit. I need to go inside. I need to observe all of this smoke, right? I talked about that earlier. This kind of smoke, this fog, this confusion. That's what all of this is. The shadow energy has been this smoke, this fog that has been blinding this person, both of these people to their true wants and their true desires. That's what that, that kind of subconscious, don't think about it too deeply, just make these choices from what place, don't think about it, don't worry about it too deeply, just, that's where we go from making those decisions from our place of our ego or of our shadow to enlightenment, making a choice from a higher place, from a higher decision, from a higher decisive thought process, right? Exactly. And that's what's happening here, is those things are being burned away. Right? That darkness is being released here from between, through both of these people. This darkness is being released and being burned away. So there definitely is a big marrying energy here between both of these people. And I'm sure it could manifest as very different things. And it shows right here on the adjudication card, that it does. That it shows up in very different ways for both the feminine and masculine. And of course, I could also be talking about the feminine and masculine aspects of yourself too. Different versions of yourself, different things within both of you that is burning away. But it was kind of like, hey, you guys have this contract here. This masculine has to make some kind of choice, some kind of decision, make some kind of declarative. I'm not letting the thoughts and the wants and the desires of things outside of me control me anymore. And make this choice for me. I'm not letting others make this choice for me. I have to step up and choose my own path. I have to allow my willpower to step forward. But first, I have to realize that my willpower was actually being driven by my darker shadow ego forces instead of my higher forces. I had to get to the level where I recognize that within myself. And now that I'm standing here at this crossroads here, I can see how, I can continue to let my ego drive me forward, or I can allow my conscious higher thought to drive me forward. And that's this like discovery here, right? I am the magician. Though that, that which is inside of me crafts and creates my reality around me. The micro reflects the macro. The exterior reflects the interior. What, as above, so below. As within, so without. It's finding that balance and finding that good alchemy within yourself. Alchemizing the power that lies in your dark and shadow self, that lies in understanding your shadow self. And understanding that there is power inside of our shadow selves when we learn how to let go of all of the wounding that is being held inside of our shadow. When we can shine a light in that shadow and burn away that wounding, we can see that deeply underneath that there is power and understanding, right? Because our ego, it protects us, right? Inside of our ego is our base wants and our needs for survival, for food, for, I need to breathe, I need to eat, I need to sleep. We can't get rid of those things, right? We need those things to survive. And deeply underneath all of the wounding that is held in our shadow self is a lot of information that informs us about ourselves and about who we are at a base level. But when we allow that wounding and that hatred and that resentment and that, fear or jealousy to be burned away out of our shadow, when we have the power to kind of say, okay, yeah, I know you're mad. Let's put that to the side. What's underneath that? I know you're angry. Let's put that to the side. I know you want to react. We can't just do that. I'm in the driver's seat. I'm, my higher self, we're in the driver's seat. Our deeper thought is in the driver's seat, not these base wants and desires and choices out of wounding, choices out of no. But there's a lot of information in that. When those darker energies or feelings or emotions rise up to the surface, there's information in that. So instead of allowing, to getting to a place where you have the temperance within you to temper those things within you, you can never get that. You'll never get to a place where you never where you never have because having those fears is a part of being human. It's a part of being alive. It's a part of being a 3D manifested being, or at least of being a human 3D manifested being, right? We can't ever get rid of those things because it's a part of just being a person, but we can evolve to the part where they do not have control over us, right? Use your emotions as your guide, not your master. Do not allow those feelings to master you. You master them. But you also don't vilify them. You get to a point where you don't vilify them, when you see them for what they really are. I'm angry. Okay, why are we angry? Because I feel like this isn't fair. That shouldn't be happening. Okay, well, we don't have to act off that anger, but I can come up with something that satisfies me, an understanding like, I'm angry because of this. I'm angry because I want justice. I'm angry because this is unfair. I'm angry because this triggers a deeper wound inside of me. Okay, thank you for that information. I don't like that. I don't like this person. I have fear because I don't trust them. Okay. I'm feeling like this because I feel, because deeper underneath that, what's going on here? Right? Those emotions aren't necessarily bad. It's when we allow ourselves to react from that place instead of taking purposeful action from those places. It's the difference in, punching somebody in the face and then sitting down and having a conversation with them. Or saying, you know what, I just need to remove myself from this circumstance. You're not a good person for me to be around. If it's not a situation where either one, it's worth my time to sit down and converse with you, or you are, you're actually able to sit down and have a rational or have a conversation with me. If we can work this out, then let's work it out. It doesn't have to come to blows. It doesn't have to come to name calling. It doesn't have to come to from a place of that. I am in control of those emotions, but I do not, a lot of people consider controlling those emotions just like shoving them down and pretending like they don't exist, vilifying them and saying, oh, if you want to be a good spiritual person, you need to never feel angry and never feel jealousy and never have, no, that's just as toxic as only feeling anger, right? Because those deeper emotions, they serve a purpose. What is their deeper purpose? Why is this coming up? It's not necessarily a bad thing that it triggers an emotional response out of you. But that doesn't mean you have to take action on that emotional response. Because sometimes it means understanding, no, I'm just having a bad day. It really doesn't have anything to do with that. Or this is triggering something deeper that really has nothing to do with this person. Let me not snap at them. Let me not say something to them. Let me not bite their head off, and tell them to go F themselves. It's just like, okay, how can this inform me more about myself? How is my anger or this, what does that mean? How, instead of externalizing everything, how can I bring this to a place of understanding myself? And of course, sometimes it's, no, it really has nothing to do with me. It's this person dealing with something. Okay. Then I can just say, it has really nothing to do with me. I can walk away. This person needs to reflect on themselves and how their actions and how while they're doing whatever they're doing or saying whatever they're saying, let me check in with myself. Is this about me or is this about them? If it's about me, okay, then I can sit down, and if it's about them, then that's a them thing. They can sit down. They can discuss it, you know, or we can discuss it, you know, if it's a, you know, but it's about understanding that it's not about stifling your emotions. It's not about pretending like, oh, I need to control you, need to have strength over you. It's not necessarily about this. It's, I need to have the strength of character and of self to allow those emotions to hold space and to understand why those emotions are coming up. Why are these distractions coming up? What's going on here? And this is not about blaming. This is not about shaming or blaming yourself or anything like that. It's always about having a deeper understanding, right? Having the light shine where you are discovering these truths about yourself, things that are hidden from deep within you that are coming up to the surface. This is about learning how to have that moment where you check in with yourself. Yeah, do I need to take action on this? Slow down. There's something here too about learning how to be less like responsive, learning more about having that quick reaction and having more of like a reflective, like, okay, let me think about this some more, but not too much, right? Not too much. Yeah. Because then action gets suspended. Again, it's about having that balance. These are all the lessons. There's some these deeper lessons here are coming out between these two people. You want to know why you're still in separation? Because you're still in the midst of learning those lessons. Look how this person is, you know, they've learned it's after the chaos. It's after everything has been spent. You might still be in this phase right now. Or maybe you're in this phase with some things, but your person is in these phase with some things. Maybe there's some things that you're still in the chaos of trying to learn and trying to understand, but your person is already, oh my God, that was crazy. Oh shit. You know? Because that's what I always think. This person is just like, oh my God. This always for me depicts like literally the moment right after, oh, finally. Let me just lean back up against this tree for a second because damn, I just burned off all these like damn. Whew. Right? I haven't even recovered. I'm still kind of assessing my wounds and being like, damn. That took a lot out of me. But I'm finally there. I finally learned these lessons. I get it. Okay. And that there are going to be some things that you're going to be in this, and there's some things that you're going to be in that. And that is, you know, when we were talking about earlier about the expectations, having these expectations, right? There are going to be some things that you've already learned the lesson, but this person is still in the process of learning. You want this person to be here about everything. Why? You're not here about everything. There's still plenty to come up to the surface. You know, that everybody kind of walks back and forth between these two energies of being, you know, and that you're simultaneously this, you know, you're a multifaceted being who is constantly learning, constantly growing, constantly having new experiences that are bringing up things that need to be healed or realizations that you've never had before. Nobody's ever going to be perfect, and nobody's ever going to be perfectly healed. They're never going to walk into your life as like this perfect, serene being that has no issues and no problems and no negative traits about themselves. It's not going to be a thing. That's not a thing. And then honestly, for some of you, it could be buried down very much so in your subconscious that it's this very like egotistical, you know, protecting myself. I need a person who knows all the lessons, who knows everything. That no, they're not going to. When this person walks into your life, they're not going to be perfect. They're not going to have all their issues resolved. They're still going to be learning lessons. And this is about you relaxing into a state of receptivity, of understanding nobody is going to be perfect. You know, the darker aspects of the Empress energy can be a person who is can have an obsession of perfectionism that doesn't allow things to grow because it's just not quite right, or it's just not quite perfect, or it's just not the perfect scenario, or no, I can't allow that because I'm not healed enough, and I haven't healed this, and I haven't healed that, and I still have these flaws about myself. This person walks into your life and you're just like, look at all these flaws in you. You need to heal that, and you need to heal this, and you need to have that, and you need to have that. You need to worry about that. And this person is like, well, look at you. You still have this, and you still have that. That's the thing that's keeping you in separation, right? Because nobody's ever going to be perfect. Everybody's still going to be learning. And even if this person seems perfect when it comes to this, things can come up down the line that reveals things that aren't perfect about this person. We're all beings who are all having different aspects of ourselves. Light is shining on different aspects of our darknesses as we move on about, nobody's ever going to be perfect, and you're never going to be perfectly healed. You're still going to be learning lessons on your last day. That's why, for me personally, I think we reincarnate, because we come back, because there's always more to learn. You're never going to be God, so you're not ever going to learn every single lesson and know every single thing and be all powerful and all knowing. No, you're never going to have that. You're never going to be that. And I'm not saying that you should strive towards being as healed and as whole as possible. But to understand that there's always going to be aspects of yourself, and that how there is this beauty in the fact that none of us are ever going to be perfect. That we're all, that saying like perfectly imperfect. Like, we're all going to have aspects of ourselves that you're very persistent today. We're all going to have those aspects inside of ourselves that are not perfect. We're all going to have those things about us that are just like, I kind of wish that was different about this person, but it is a part of who they are. And if I truly love them, there are aspects about themselves that I accept and that I see, and that I love them anyway. I mean, like that. Like how I love my cat. I love my cat. But he has some things about him that aren't perfect. Like how he's always trying to fight my other cat. I don't like that. How he always has an issue. Like, I would love for them to just be at peace and be chill with each other. But it just, I've tried for years, and it's been a thing that's always been a thing for him. The second that I brought him into the house, there was an issue. There was a jealousy. There was a, like, I don't get along with that. And how can you? I mean, just like how we don't pick our families, how it's like, oh, well, I wish that me and my mom, or me and my dad, or me and my sister, I wish my kids got along a lot more. Maybe they don't. Maybe they are just different aspects. They're just different people. They're not ever going to be as close and as that perfect family that you might want. And it might be the same with this person. This person's not going to be picture perfect. Your family might not be picture perfect. Your life might be not picture perfect, might not be the perfect thing, the idealized version of what you thought life was going to be, but it's going to be good, and it's going to be what your soul needs. So trust that. Trust that it might not be perfect. And of course, when we're in the healing journey, and we're in this journey of recognizing those karmic ties, we can get over analytical of looking, right? Do you have narcissistic traits? Do you have red flags? I'm looking, like with a microscope, combing through every single little aspect of you, because I'm just waiting for some hidden, deeper, I'm waiting for that hidden, deeper, negative aspect of you to appear and to show itself. Aha, I knew it. I knew you were evil, or I knew that you were bad. I knew it. I knew that there'd be something that wasn't, I gotta get out of here, And it's like having this over analytical, over analyzing, over criticizing aspect that we can get stuck in when we're on that healing journey, because Spirit asks us to reflect. And you can get over analytical in the reflecting, over trying to control the situation, trying to squeeze out any little bit of, of possible darkness within a person. And it's like this self-protection that it's like, oh my gosh, in the past I overlooked red flags, or in the past I looked beyond this or looked beyond that. It ended up being a problem in the end, And that's stopping your receptivity of allowing a person that's never going to be perfect to come into your life. Right? Yeah, I'm hearing a masculine energy say, I feel weighed down by your expectations of me. You expect me to be all this and be all that and then be this and look this way and do all that, but I don't fit up to those expectations, and I feel like I'm not good enough for you. Why would I want to be with somebody that's constantly analyzing whether or not, constantly waiting for me to do, it's like, well, who do you think I am? Well, who do you think you are? You're not perfect. You have these I wish this and this and this was different about you too. But I'm trying to be here and I'm trying to show up and I'm trying to be the best version of myself that I can be, but I'm always going to be striving towards that. And I'm never ever going to quite reach it, but I'm going to do the best that I can. That's a tower that needs to fall down here. That's a part of your foundation that needs to crumble. And you need to be like, okay, so this is a part of my healing journey that I need to accept. It's a new level of understanding that, okay, I got to turn that down a little bit. I turned, like spirit came into my life and way turned up my perception so that I could see what I was being blind to. I could see through all this smoke, through all this things. There needs to be some balance in your perception. Maybe some of you have some, particular heavy placements in Scorpio that can bring this kind of paranoid, or can bring this kind of like over analyzing, like testing people and things like that. Some of you might have like a moon in Scorpio, or even like a sun in Scorpio, or something here about like a Jupiter in Scorpio, or like your bigger, heavier planets could have some scorpionic influence. Again, I'm not a big astrology girly. This is just kind of intuitively what I'm picking up. There's something here about Capricorn. There's a big influence of Capricorn too, in some aspect of your natal chart as well. Maybe this person has, one of the two of you might have that. Yeah, spirit is just kind of saying, hey, you need to chill out just a little bit. Like, I'm not saying this in a rude way, but hey, you just need to chill out a little bit. You kind of have this kind of perception turned up to the max, like max perception, and when that is happening, you see, of course, you're going to see every little flaw in everything around you. But just because it has flaws doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. Everything has flaws. Everything, nothing is perfect in this world. It's just about having the balance of understanding when, okay, this is a flaw that's acceptable. This is a flaw that's like just part of being a person, that they're learning, they're growing. And understanding when a flaw goes more over to the toxic side, when it goes more over to the red flag side, right? Yeah. So spirit is saying that they're saying it in kind of like I don't know how to say this, like gamer, because I'm not a big gamer person or anything like that, but there is like playing like an RPG character, right? And like being like, okay, you might have had to like on your stats of your character. You might have had to max out on perception because you were dealing with somebody who was maxed out in guile, right? Who was maxed out in the past, you know, who was wearing all these masks, who was these manipulators. And so you overanalyze everything, looking for any sign of manipulation, for any sign of this, right? For any sign of sneakiness, or, you know, like, nah, I got to turn that shit up to 10 because you sneaky as a motherfucker, right? Like, you sneaking in, you wear the red flags, they're hidden, you know, they're painted over green flags. Like, wait a minute, this ain't really green fabric. This is red fabric made to look green, you know. And it's that kind of energy. And that exactly, being over analyzing is what's stopping this energy from being able to come into you. Because it's here and it wants to come in, and it's stable and it's loving and it wants to come into you. But who wants to be with somebody who is just like looking for every little bit of their flaw and putting a magnifying glass on every single little flaw that they have? Like, who wants to be with the person who's constantly picking them apart like that? Nobody. And even though you might be telling yourself, well, I'm doing this to protect myself, that wall's a little high, baby. Those expectations are a little mountainous. Who can climb over those? Well, you should be willing to climb over all these mountains, and you should be willing to deal with any test that I give you. People don't have to do that shit. You know, just allow a person to show up in your life. Allow them to show themselves to you. And when you actually see a legitimate red flag, cut it off, move on, do what you need to do. But nobody wants to be with somebody who's constantly picking them apart and, you know, and analyzing every single little thing that they do, analyzing every single little flaw or every single little, what does that mean? What do they mean when they say that? What do they mean when they say this? You know? And Spirit's like, I understand that you were hurt in the past, and that's why they feel this way. We encourage you to kind of turn that down just a little bit, you know? Because it's gotten over into the side where you're the more toxic, analytic person who's dissecting every single little bit of everybody around you. And it's kind of making you a little bit judgmental of people. Just because you can see people's flaws doesn't mean that you deserve to judge them for them. You have a very high perception of people and you can see into people. But that doesn't mean that they deserve to be judged for every single. It's kind of like Spirit. It's like you can see a lot more than the average person, which kind of gives you these heightened senses, but it overstimulates you. Yeah. Ace of Cups. This Ace of Cups wants to come into you, but since you have, look at those books that we talked about here in the Judgment card. You're so ready to pick apart somebody and see every single little part of them and see every single little flaw of them, you know, that nobody can live up to those expectations. Exactly. Everybody feels like you're picking them apart and judging them, and, you know, it's a little bit much. Yeah, exactly. You're waiting for that God, you know, you're waiting for that. Spirit says they want you to have the strength to step out of the storm. To see beyond this little dichotomy right here, right? To see beyond this and to not judge people so much for being in this bouncing back and forth. I'm in the storm, now I learned that lesson. Now I'm back in the storm, and then I learned that lesson. Then now I'm back in the storm, and then everybody goes through this, including you. So try to have a little bit more of understanding of that. Everybody's on their own path. Everybody's not where you are. Everybody hasn't learned the lessons that you have, because there's plenty of lessons that other people have learned that you haven't. Exactly. But it's that devil energy of protect yourself, don't trust other people, do this, you know, because of your past. You need to this is an aspect of your past that you need to let go of, that you need to heal. It's this over perception, over analyzing, over picking apart, over judgmental of other people who are dealing with some of the same things even you were dealing with, right? And a lot of times aspects of other people that we don't like are how they mirror back aspects of ourselves that we don't like. Mm-hmm. Exactly. This is part of your contract. This is 100% a part of your contract. You need to learn this. Yeah. Again, spirit is like, you need to chill out a little bit. You need to chill out. You need to touch grass. You need to worry about yourself and, and what you're doing a little bit more. Spend a little less time judging other people. And spirit saying they understand you're not doing this from a place of like meanness. You're not doing this from a place of just being like, oh, I'm above everybody. Fuck this and fuck that. And that person looks like this and they do that. I'm better than them. They understand that you might not be doing it from a place of that. Right? You are doing it from a place of, do they do this? Do they say that? What do they mean by that? Are they trying to hurt me? Are they trying to lie to me? Who are they? What do they really mean? But that doesn't mean it's not just as detrimental as doing it from a place of meanness. Yeah. Allow things to be a little bit more messy, Spirit is saying. Life is a little bit more messy. People aren't perfect, And your person's not going to be perfect, and neither are you. Be open to being a lot more compassionate and accepting of other people who aren't and their flaws. To know the difference between when somebody's showing you something that shows you, okay, this person does not mean me well. They need to get out of my life. But there are plenty of people in your life that really mean you well that you're over analyzing because of the few people that are in there who don't mean you well. It's kind of like this, oh, I've been done dirty by people. It is kind of like this victim. It is an aspect of a victim mentality of, I've been done dirty, so I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop. I'm just waiting for people in my life to betray me. I'm looking for any little sign that you actually might be a terrible, horrible person. And even though a person might have a bad day or might say something, that doesn't mean that they're a terrible, horrible person who has this intention to take from you or steal from you or hurt you. Sometimes people hurt us unintentionally. That doesn't mean that's who that person is. It just means that they had a day, they had an issue. Don't you? Don't you have times that you're rude or that you're mean to somebody else, or that you might say something that you go back and you reflect and you're like, I shouldn't have said it that way because it really wasn't about that person, or it really wasn't about that. I was having a bad day. I was in pain. I wasn't, everybody has those moments. Everybody has that. It's just when you find that somebody is consistently doing that, consistently putting your feelings and your emotions and who you are on a back burner, that'll show you that there's something here about having a lot more lenience and having more compassion for other people, and having that less judgment of other people and being like, oh, this one aspect of this person is everything that they are. You might have gone through that. You might have had a lot of people in your past take one aspect of you and whittle you down to that's all you are. So don't turn around and do that to other people. There's something here about, like, it might have been done to you. Don't pass on that pain to other people. And really, honestly, don't continue that pain inside of yourself. Don't inform yourself from a place of your wounding, from a place of your pain. Don't let your darkest day or somebody's dark day be everything that they are. People can learn. People can grow. People can change. But again, Spirit is also saying that does not mean that you just allow a person to treat you however, and that, you just stay in their life. This is a big lesson of learning, of not allowing that side of you where the wall comes up and you judge this person as, nope, stamp, nope, they said this, they did that, that means they're a terrible person, walls are up, nope. This is an aspect inside of you that needs to be healed. Yeah, there needs to be a little bit more understanding. And again, I'm not talking about our abusers. I'm not talking about the narcissist. I'm not talking about empathizing, with the people that are out there doing terrible, horrible things to you. That's not what I'm talking about, right? I'm talking about the fact that because you might have spent so much time around people that acted that way, you kind of overlay that darkness from those past people into new people before you even give them a chance really to, it's like, oh, that reminds me of this one aspect of my ex who was a toxic narcissist. Bye. Now my walls are up. Now I'm analyzing everything you say and that you do. And it's like, calm down. Like, I'm not that person. Stop bringing your baggage and, like throwing it on me. I don't have to carry the weight of your baggage. I don't have to carry the weight of your wounding. Don't put the weight of your wounding on new people trying to come into your life. Because just like whoever put that wounding on you that caused you to be hurt, don't turn into that person putting your baggage on other people. It's not for other people to have to hold that, Now, if that person comes in and they're willing to hold that space for you so that you can heal yourself, so that you can open up, so that you can feel safe, yes. If you have a new person coming into your life, sitting down and having a conversation about how, hey, I have these boundaries and I have these limits and I have these things, it triggers things inside of me because of my past. I'm trying to heal those things, please be understanding, but at the same time, don't allow that understanding to give you 1,000 chances to slide, just like how you gave your abusers in your past 1,000 chances to do you wrong. People don't have to stay around you. Just, people can be like, look, you're hurt and you're clearly not ready. You're not ready to open up. You're not ready to let go. You still have a lot of my ex did this and my ex did that. So if I see a little bit of that in you, you're gone, kind of vibe in you. And that holds a lot of the love and the acceptance that you want to come into your life. That holds it back because you're not giving out that love and acceptance and compassion to other people. And again, this is on a scale. I'm not saying that you're being a terrible, horrible person to everybody that walks in and out of your life, but the Spirit is saying, like, if that's what you're casting out onto people, then you're going to get that energy back. So be aware of that. Try to work on healing yourself so that you can come from a place of understanding, the same way that you want people to have understanding about you and your past and the things that you've been through. Have a little more understanding for other people too. All right. Wow. Well, that's what I have for you. This was interesting. I liked this reading. Thank you guys for being here with me today. Okay. I really appreciate you as always. Thank you to your angels, spirits, guardians, ancestors, masters, and guides who guided you here to get this information. I hope it gave you the love, light, or clarity that you were looking for in your situation. Thank you to my angels, spirits, masters, guardians, ancestors, and guides for guiding me through delivering this information as well as keeping me safe as they did so. I hope it brought some enlightenment into your life. Okay. Also, always know that that me saying this is never coming from a place of wanting you to feel shame or wanting you to feel guilt or pain. It's just like, come to the realization, open up your eyes and look into that mirror and see like, oh shit, I have these aspects inside of myself. I don't want you to ever feel like I'm critiquing you always, but Spirit, you come here to get these messages so that Spirit can shine a light on these things so that you can come to the realization like, oh, I'm doing this. Oh, I'm doing that. And it's actually holding myself back, or it's actually stopping me from allowing love to come into my life. Like, oh shit, okay, I need to chill out. Or okay, I need to pay attention to this. I need to show a little love to myself. I need to hold some space for myself so that I can really work these things out. Okay, I need to, how do I bring myself back more into my body? How do I ground in my energy? How do I do this? Rely on your tools. You're out here learning the information of how to emotionally regulate yourself, how to do all of this. Remember to rely on your tools as these new experiences and as these new challenges come up. Remember to fall back on your tools of what the new tools of how to healthily handle these new emotional aspects that are coming up inside of yourself. Okay. Thank you so much for being here with me. Like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think of this reading and of the subject matter that we're talking about here. You know, are you coming to these realizations? Are you like, oh shit, you know? This is not going to resonate for everybody, but it is what it is. You know, if it does, certain parts of it might resonate for you and other parts don't. Don't, you know, if it doesn't hit, if it's not for you, that's cool. Not all aspects of this reading, or not all of my readings are going to, and that's okay. I appreciate you so very much. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for being here and showing up for yourself. Okay. Thank you for walking this healing path with me as I'm not a perfect person. I'm learning a lot as I'm going along this journey with you guys. So thank you for that. And, yeah, I'll see you lovelies in the next one. If you feel guided to get a personal reading from me about this or about anything else we talk about in any of these readings, reach out to me. My contact information is down below. Okay? Thank you guys so very, very much. As always, good luck out there, my sweets. Okay? I'm proud of you. Keep going forward on this journey. We're going to keep kicking ass and doing what we need to do. Okay? So, I'll see you lovelies in the next one. Okay? Bye.